In this video, we're going to look at some good and bad examples of refutation or rebuttal paragraphs. So let's keep in mind that the thesis of this essay is in favor of INDA, saying Congress should pass INDA. And they're therefore going to rebut people who are arguing on the other side that Congress should not pass INDA. All right, so let's look at each one, and I'll give you a chance to pause it, read it, see what you think, and then I'll come back and give you my commentary on it. So let's first look at E. You can pause the video and take a minute to read it. All right, coming back here, there are a couple problems with E. E is not a good rebuttal. First of all, there's no signaling language at the beginning. It just says INDA would lead to frivolous lawsuits. And it sounds like that the writers changed sides and now they are arguing against INDA, when in reality, they should be saying why that is a wrong point or why that point is not a good argument. But instead, they just, throughout this whole paragraph, do absolutely nothing but present the other side's view. It's almost like they're giving the other side a platform with zero rebuttal. That's terrible. It would be better not even to have this paragraph because it just presents the other side. And that's not what a rebuttal is. I've had many people who believe that a rebuttal is just presenting the other side. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to say why the other side is wrong. So you only present the other side enough to set it up so that you can then go on in the majority of the paragraph to say why it's not a good argument. All right, let's then move on to F here. So take a minute to read that, pause the video. All right, coming back, this is another bad example. It's a little better than the previous one because at least it doesn't only present the other side. But again, there's no signaling language at the beginning that makes it clear that this is the other side's point and not the writer's point. And then when it goes on here, and it's got a little topic sentence there that says, okay, this is not true. But then the evidence here is not presented in a specific way. There are no specific names, no quotes, no specific numbers. And just like in a confirmation, you have to show your evidence. So this does not do that well. All right, let's look at G next. So you can take a second to pause the video and read it, and then we'll come back. All right, looking at this one, this does a good job at first of starting out with signaling language, right? Opponents argue this, and it gives a quote. And that part up through here where I'm highlighting is fine. The problem is when we get to here, because it goes off point, right? The other side's point is this INDA legislation is bad because it will lead to lawsuits. And the writer here is saying, well, it's not fair to fire someone just because that person's gay. Now that could be a good argument in the confirmation, but that's not rebutting the point that it would lead to frivolous lawsuits. So this is off topic. It's not rebutting the point it presented. Okay, let's look at the last example here, H. So take a minute to read that, pause the video, and then we'll come back. All right, so this is the good example, the good rebuttal. So it starts out here, setting up the other side well, good signaling language. Those who oppose INDA often claim, and it says what their claim is, that it would lead to frivolous lawsuits. It gives a name and a quote of somebody who's making that argument with John Boehner. And then it gives the topic sentence, right, which is just very short but clear. It says the evidence does not support this claim, which is one of the more common ways to rebut, saying, no, the evidence shows something different. And then in the rest of this rebuttal, it stays on point the whole time. You know, it never goes into another point other than saying this would not lead to frivolous lawsuits. It's very focused. Every sentence, every piece of evidence is about how INDA will not lead to frivolous lawsuits, and there's no other discussion. It's just focused on rebutting that point. And of course, as you can see, there's a lot of specific evidence, facts, experts, names, specific evidence in the rebuttal. Sometimes people think, well, do I need as much specific evidence in the rebuttal? Actually, you need it even more than in the confirmation because you're going against someone else and you better have the evidence to back them up. So this is our good example of a rebuttal paragraph. And if you want to review the structure for that, you can look back again into the previous video.